Hey everyone, my name is Zania. I had the honor to be present at the post-show press conference after ROH Supercard of Honor, so let's talk about some of the plans, promises, and updates. So I'm gonna walk you guys through the top 5 things that I thought were important, that I thought would be important in the long term or in the short term, but in the nearest future for ROH, its talent, its champions, and just stuff that I feel like you guys might want to know. So number 1, let's talk about Katsuyori Shibata. He, of course, won the ROH Pure Championship at the pay-per-view, and we got to talk to him about how much the title means to him, and he did say that the title means the absolute world to him.
This is my rule. Yeah, head injury after. This is my rule.
To him, this champion belt means the rule to him.
ちょうどぴったり。
So this pure championship matches his style and his character.
It's a perfect fit.
Even though he did have some mishaps with his flight, he only flew in the day of the show, but that didn't mess with his performance.
コスチュームだけ取って会場。
So he arrived in LA today afternoon. So he just grabbed his gear and he directly came to this arena.
But no problem.
But that wasn't that didn't affect him at
No
all.
problem. Yeah.
Because his condition is so good. Yeah.
And one of the most burning questions was, is he signed with ROH? What's going on? And I feel like a good point is that a lot of the time when a talent gets featured on AEW or ROH, the question that everyone wants to ask and everyone wants to know is, are they getting signed? For some reason, fans just want Tony Khan to sign every single person who appears on the show and has a good match. But Tony Khan did clarify that Katsuyori Shibata is going to keep appearing in ROH as a part of their agreement with New Japan Pro Wrestling. And that's kind of the entire premise of opening the Forbidden Door, of course, and we're going to have the Forbidden Door pay-per-view very soon in Chicago, where we can see different talent from different promotions featured on the show, and they don't necessarily have to be a part of the permanent roster, they don't necessarily have to be signed. Sometimes the whole fun of it is in the exchange of that talent between promotions. So that's definitely something that's happening in Shibata's case, and I feel like it's a great way to showcase more talent and to bring in someone to be champion and to represent the brand in that way.
Will Washington, Fightful. Congratulations, Shibata, on the
you.
win. So 2 of your last 3 matches were under Tony Khan, one on an episode of AEW Rampage, and again tonight here at Supercard of Honor. And now that you're the pure champion, that kind of lends itself to a bit of a commitment. Are you under any sort of deal long-term with Tony? And I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say AEW or Ring of Honor here, but in that case, is there any sort of long-term deal in this case, or is it a per date basis?
I mean,
Of course.
but he didn't make any deal at this moment. But he wants to keep wrestling for Tony Khan.
I think I not to speak for Shibata-san, we really enjoy working together. We have been taking it on a match-by-match basis as part of a greater relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW, which is a big relationship. It's so big, it's extended into Forbidden Door 2 coming this summer, and it's extended into great partnerships and great moments like tonight, which working with you again and this moment tonight to have Shibata-san win the Ring of Honor Pure Championship tonight in Los Angeles in front of such a great crowd and an amazing match against one of our best young wrestlers, Wheeler Yuta, who's a 2-time champion. It's historic. And so it's a great partnership with New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's resulted in many great moments. And I believe this is one of the greatest moments that I've had to be able to sit here in front of you with this great champion. Thank you.
In AEW ring or in ROH ring, I mean, there is a big dream in there. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, the wrestler's job is showing the dreams to the fans. So so he wrestled here because this is where he can make that dream come true. Yeah, to show the dream to the fans.
And I'm very excited that we have the pure champion, Mr. Shibata. Shibata-san will be with us. And what an amazing moment. Who would have ever thought years ago, even months ago, that this would be possible? to be sitting here in a moment like this would be possible. This is a dream. Thank you, sir. Awesome. Thank you.
Number 2, the international shows. That press conference did take place before Tony Khan's very important announcement that he made on the next Dynamite after that All In, the iconic pay-per-view, is coming to Wembley, London. And one of the burning questions before that was surely AEW's future international plans, because we had some shows in Canada, and now we're promised a show in the United Kingdom. And it was a question that I was definitely concerned with too, because we did interview fans before the show, before ROH Supercard of Honor, and we saw some fans from all over the globe. We had fans from Germany, from China. So there's no denying that ROH interests and connects with international audiences. So hopefully we're going to see ROH doing an international tour and international shows, as well as AEW in the nearest future. Though Tony Khan does take a bit of a different approach when it comes to AEW versus ROH, as he himself did say at the Scrum, to where AEW is this polished, huge TV product, while ROH is more so for hardcore fans, and it's very, very pro wrestling based, and it caters to a more savvy fan. So it's only natural that it would not connect with as large an audience as AEW, though I personally do think it's very feasible, and I do think that ROH is ready to be presented to an international audience.
AEW has a bigger budget, but I've tried to take the production values of AEW and use some of the synergies of owning a wrestling company and create a partnership where AEW we can use and leverage some of the great production team and assets, but also it's great for AEW to be able to develop young wrestlers, to be able to have some of the top stars of AEW come here and represent that company. But also I think you have to look at it, and there's things I would do in AEW that might be more expensive. There's things in ROH that I would do that are more to cater to a hardcore fan base. And there are great matches, and there are people I can bring in that I know people will be excited to see, that would get a great reception for Ring of Honor, that might not necessarily translate to a huge Nielsen rating. And I think understanding that AEW has a bigger budget and is great wrestling, and Ring of Honor has the opportunity to continue to grow, and that's a business we're building. In Ring of Honor now, when you look, we've done record pay-per-view numbers in the last year and had some of the biggest live gates in the history of the company. So 21 years in, Ring of Honor is growing, which is a really good sign.
Number 3, Athena and her future opponents. That was definitely a burning question also, because right before the press conference, Fightful actually reported that Trinity Fatu, previously known as Naomi in WWE, was actually present backstage at the show. So of course everyone wanted to know whether Athena was gonna wrestle Trinity in the nearest future, which Athena did say that she would like to wrestle her, which is exactly what everyone wanted to hear. Athena did drop some more names. Of course, the one name that everyone always wants to hear is Marcedes Mone, and Athena did say that she would like to face her in the future. She also mentioned Masha Slamovich, Trish Adora, Kairi Sane. So pretty much Athena is open to any challenge from any rising or established star in the scene.
Trin is one of my really good friends. We talk on a daily basis, and when we both found out that we were in LA, it was really awesome. She's one of my very close friends, and she wanted to come out and support, and so very cool moment. Like, I hope to have a match with her in the future. I never had the opportunity in WWE to have that match, so absolutely. One of the really cool things about being in Ring of Honor, and I'll just touch a little bit on my past, being on the indies for 10 years, my dream was always to go and wrestle in Japan. Go and prove myself with the best wrestlers, the best Joshi in the entire world. And I never got that opportunity. I still haven't had that opportunity. So every time anyone from Japan comes over here, like, I know that they're going to bring the fight. I know that they're going to hit hard, and I'm constantly going to prove that I'm better than them every step of the way. So it doesn't matter if it's Miyu Yamashita. It doesn't matter if it's Yuka Sakazaki. It doesn't matter if it's Maki Ito. Hell, it can even be Aja Kong for all I care. I'm going to beat the brakes off of all of them and show them that I am the absolute best in the world, and no one can hold a candle to me. Well, I hear Jamie Hayter hits hard. And I like to hurt people. I mean, she's definitely on my bucket list. There's so many women within the AEW roster that I haven't had the opportunity of wrestling. There are so many women on the independent scene and just out there, New Japan, Stardom, everywhere out in the world that I want to wrestle. Masha Slamovich, for one, I won a singles match with Kairi Sane, Marcedes Mone. I never got that opportunity as well. Yes, I know them. Get over it, right? But at the end of the day, those are bucket list matches that I want. I would love another round with Tootie Lynn. You know, like I said, there's so many people. Toni Storm. I never got to have a singles match with Toni Storm. Trisha Dora, who's absolutely phenomenal, and I've been keeping my eye on her, hoping that she stays down in the lower card. But you know, at the end of the day, like, I'm open to any challenge that steps in my way, because like, this is what I do, right? The pressure is on, especially when you're champion. You have to prove that you can deliver every single match. And that pressure, sometimes it's anxiety driven, right? But at the end of the day, like, this is what I do. This is what I was made for. And I was born to be champion. I was born to be in Ring of Honor. I was born to be in that ring, and no one is going to take that away from me.
And Athena did mention that she does pitch opponents to Tony Khan sometimes, especially when we see some of her opponents on AW Dark or on ROH Weeklies, that sometimes she will come to Tony Khan and specifically ask to wrestle a certain person. So since she did mention some of the indie darlings, I do think we might see that actually happen in the near future.
Ring of Honor meant the world to me when I got the opportunity to work for them on the independent scene. And I know every person that comes through the door feels the exact same way. Just to be able to have some of these dream matches, like Willow was a bucket list match of mine. And like, it was something that I had wanted because I was in WWE and I saw that smile, that everything. And I was like, I just want to punch her in the face. Please, I just need this so much. So when the match got announced, I was very excited for that. Same thing with High End. I mean, there are a lot of phenomenal wrestlers out there. Once again, they're not me. But at the end of the day, like, having the opportunity to prove myself time and time again, having that pressure, having everyone online talk about what is she going to do next? Like, what violence can she create next? What is she going to do? Who's going to stop her? You know, that only creates drama, and that sucks all of you guys in and makes you want to see me beat them up so much more. I know. You just want to see me win forever. It's fine. And let me put it this way. I've never been a person that's been about myself. I've been about the match. I've been about the story. I've been about the intensity, because that's what you guys come to see. You know, people that are for themselves don't last long here. And especially in Ring of Honor, I've seen it time and time again. Someone will come through the door and then they're out, right? This is a reemergence. And I think everyone in my division is proving that we belong here and that we're going to make you watch what we do. There are so many young, amazing talent that are building themselves up. But the one thing about Ring of Honor that you cannot deny is, like, we are in the proving ground. And we will not be denied. We're here to steal every show, every week, even when we're at AEW. We are dedicated to showing the world that Ring of Honor is a serious brand and that we are the best brand.
Number 4, we had Mark Briscoe at the press conference, who really opened up about a lot of things that were happening backstage, but also in his personal life before, after, and at the time of Jay Briscoe's untimely passing. And he did say that Supercard of Honor was a special show for them, and prior to it they didn't really have any bookings established, and they didn't even know if they were going to have a match at ROH, but they were still kind of waiting for it, because Supercard is always one of the most important shows of the year, and it's always special, and they just knew they were going to have their place on the card. And thus, you know, part of the reason why it was super important to have Mark Briscoe so present on the show and as connected with the crowd as he was. He's been very involved with the ROH tag titles, and we did see him pass them on to the winners of the ladder match, Lucha Bros, and just the way that Mark Briscoe has been connecting with the viewer, with the people, with the crowd has been beautiful to watch. And I just hope that he keeps his presence in ROH, that we see more and more of him, and that we see him, you know, in meaningful storylines, meaningful matches, as we have been.
Questions?
I know there's got to be a lot of emotion. This is your first Ring of Honor pay-per-view without your brother. talk for a moment about what it felt like to be out there. You know he's looking from above, but to not have him in that corner, just talk for a moment about the emotions that you were experiencing.
You know, this is going to be May 20th. It'll be 23 years that me and my brother been professional wrestlers, you know. And it was the first time after we had the dog collar match with FTR at Final Battle in December. We had an indie show in Queens against a team called Main Event at House of Glory at later in December. And after that, it was the first time in so long that we didn't have a match booked. We didn't have something, we knew Supercard was coming, and we knew that we was going to be on Supercard defending the tag team titles, but we didn't have anything on the indies. It was a strange moment of, as weird as it sounds, peace, because my brother, when we had a match coming up, and I don't want this to sound wrong, but he didn't have peace because he was always so ready to go. He'd call me like, Chick, we gotta cut this promo. What you want to do for this promo? Let's put a tweet out, whatever it may be. But this was just a weird little season where we knew Supercard was coming a few months away, what Supercard was going to entail for the Briscoe brothers. So, and now here we are. Supercard just wrapped up, and we about winning. You know what I mean? We about championships. We about making the family proud. We about the legacy. And, one thing that I'm not going to do is sit here and pout. Samoa Joe is a hell of a fighter. But if you think that I'm done with Samoa Joe because he beat me tonight, hey, you can forget about that, man. But I know, like, I can feel him, my brother. I can feel him. Like, it's not like I wonder about him because I can feel him. I wonder where he is, what he's doing, because I can feel him. It's like even more so than before, where you always hear the commentary, oh, the Briscoe brothers, they don't even have to speak words. They're grunt and snarl, and they know what each other's talking about. But now it's like, more than ever, it's like Jay's like in me. It might sound weird, but it's the God's honest truth, man. And I can feel him, and I felt him out there tonight, just like I do every day of my life, but especially when I'm between them ropes, because that's something that we shared since we was 3, 4, 5 years old. I mean, it ain't start when we became professionals at 15 and 16, but it started way before that. You know what I mean? It started way before that, and now it's like, where we go from here? That's like what he's like, yo, Chick, let's go, pick yourself up. This is strange, and I'm just starting to learn how this new thing works. But oh yeah, he right here with me. His passion. He was passionate about anything that he did, anything that he thought was worth doing. He did it 110%, whether it was coaching middle school football or whether it was landscaping. He was a landscaping connoisseur. He was the damnedest, the best landscaper. I mean, that might have been one thing he was better at than wrestling, and that was running that weed eater, putting that edge on him.
Number 5, last but not least, we did have the still reigning defending ROH World Champion Claudio Castagnoli on the press conference. And I'm not gonna lie, Claudio didn't give us much. People were, again, trying to pitch some names, trying to see if some opponents were planned for the future. But even though Claudio did mention Chris Hero, Adam Cole, some, past ROH champions, as well as some New Japan people as Okada, the answer in itself, in its nature, was more of I will face anyone who deserves it, which is very, very fair.
How would you feel if, say, someone like Chris Hero was to appear and challenge you for your championship?
Well, I feel like Forbidden Door opens, pun intended, so many doors of people who can step up there. I mean, we've seen, just like you brought it up earlier, Shibata. Again, I'm worried about his health, so let's think about that as well. You know, Tanahashi was here today. There's so many great other talents. I think I wrestled in a match with Okada 20 years ago as well. There's a lot of history there. There's plenty of people in New Japan that I would like to defend this Ring of Honor World Championship against. Former, you know, like you bring up, you know, Chris Hero, former people. Sure, if ever, like, whoever wants to step up and put in the work to get to a place where I feel like they deserve a title match, or Tony feels like they earned a title match, hey, I'll take on anybody. But again, I feel like you can't just walk in and demand a title match. You know what I mean? I feel like I've earned that respect. I've earned that courtesy, that you need to be ready and you need to show that you're ready. And there's a lot of people out there that are proving themselves to be ready. There's a lot of former Ring of Honor champions that I would love to step in the ring with. You know, I mean, I can just throw a bunch of them out there. I mean, like Bandito would be one of them. Roosh would be one of them. Adam Cole was just recently cleared again. There's so many more. There's a bunch of young kids that, you know, come up, and I feel like they have that fire. They have that energy. They have that chip on their shoulder that I want to step in the ring and prove myself against, because again, you always need to measure yourself against the best. Otherwise, you're not a worthy champion. Whoever has the guts to do so, I would like to say. If you watch the show tonight, I mean, there's some awesome matches. There's some great matches on the 0 Hour. There's been some great matches on, you know, ROH TV, you know, on Honor Club. I think Ring of Honor is red hot. If you watch Honor Club, you just see every single person is trying to prove themselves, trying to show why they should be the next in line for this title. So there's a whole bunch of challengers, and I'm looking forward to facing each and every one of them. So I was trying to defend this Ring of Honor Championship the way I remember it. Any chance I get against anybody who wants to step up, I defended this Ring of Honor World Championship. By the way, not this one, but if you can see, this is a brand new, beautiful, absolutely beautiful title that I'm very proud of, to be the first guy to hold it. But I defended the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship on Dark. I defended it on Rampage. I defended it on Honor Club. So to me, this is a fighting man's championship. I defended it against anybody who wants to step up. I defended it in proving ground matches, because to me, that is what the Ring of Honor champion always has been. It's about honor. It's about representing the company. And that is, Ring of Honor always was pure wrestling company, I feel like. And that doesn't mean AEW doesn't have good wrestling, because it certainly has the best wrestling on television. But I always felt that Ring of Honor was the place where you see the next great talent, where they have a chance to showcase themselves longer that they might have on television because of time constraints, where people have a chance to step up and really showcase what they got, where you find, you know, like in Ring of Honor is where people like myself, like Bryan Danielson, like Nigel McGuinness, and so many more, you know, like cut their teeth, found their style, found their flows. And that's what Ring of Honor is. So if people watch Honor Club, they can almost like discover who is going to be the next guy that you have to watch on the independents. And I feel like Tony's done a really good job bringing people in who's starting to create a little bit of a buzz on the independent scene, to showcase themselves on a way bigger platform. And I feel like Honor Club has been doing incredible well. The response has been great from people from all over the world, because now it's accessible for everybody, and people get the chance to showcase themselves and to prove why they're going to be the next big thing. And that's what Ring of Honor has always been. It's for people who have a chip on their shoulder, and I thought about that today, actually. It's a very long-winded answer. I thought about that today because I worked out this morning. And as I was working out, I was kind of thinking, like, why am I working out? It's kind of like when you're in the middle of a hard workout, you always question yourself, like, why am I doing this? And the answer is simple. It's because you want to stay hungry, you want to stay humble, and you will never want to think that you're too good to do the hard work. And that's what Ring of Honor means to me. And that's what I feel like the Ring of Honor champion should be. You want to defend it every single time with all your heart. And that's why I feel people should watch Ring of Honor. And that's the kind of champion I would like to be.
I also did ask a question about the promo that Claudio did, where he said that Eddie Kingston cannot be the ROH champion because a man without honor can't be the Ring of Honor champion. And I did want him to clarify what is that honor, like what is it that he has and Eddie doesn't have. And as an answer, he gave the example of Eddie Kingston getting his hands on the microphone and doing a promo before we went off air and just saying a bunch of profanities as a protest, I guess. And Claudio said that this is exactly what a man without honor will do.
Xenia from Zenidad, congratulations on your win tonight.
Thank you.
Throughout your rivalry with Eddie Kingston, you said that a man without honor can't be the Ring of Honor champion.
Yes.
So I was wondering if you could elaborate on that. What does that concept of honor mean to you, and what does that constitute to you?
Well, right after the match, when Eddie Kingston had the microphone, what was the first thing he said? Stuff that you cannot air on regular television, stuff that you cannot write in a regular publication, stuff that is not behaving of a Ring of Honor champion. So that just proved my point tonight. Didn't even have to wait 2 minutes, and he proves it again. So that was the answer to your question. He answered it himself.
And of course, there was a bunch of questions on whether that rivalry is over, whether it's done, to which Claudio responded very simply and said, I won the match, case closed.
Well, I won, didn't I? Case closed. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, champ. Appreciate you.
We don't need microphones.
Who needs it?
Thanks, guys.
2 special mentions would go to 2 other questions/topics. One of them is, of course, an update on Dante Martin. We didn't get much detail other than that he's in the hospital and he's going to be out of action for a bit. And that injury, unfortunately, I saw up close and it did look very, very scary and nasty. And, you know, it's a shame because Top Flight have been on a roll and we've finally been seeing them get the spotlight they deserve, get all these awesome opponents. So we're wishing Dante Martin a speedy recovery, and I hope we can see him back at 100% and back in the ring as soon as possible.
Right off the bat, Dante Martin seemed to take a pretty nasty fall there at the end of that ladder match. Do you have an update on his status?
He's at the hospital right now, and right before I came out here, I talked to Darius, and Darius is there, and some of the good friends are there, and I hope to have a good update soon on Dante. I know he's in pain, but I'm wishing him the best, and obviously we're all praying for Dante. Dante is an amazing wrestler. Obviously, his brother has been through serious injuries and missed time, and we love Darius very much too, and we missed Darius when he was out, and I think Dante will probably be out of action for some time. Look forward to now Darius taking the time to grow and learn from it, but Dante's somebody who's going to be with us for a very, 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 very long time. And I care very much about Dante and have gotten to know him a long time since he came up with us through the pandemic. And that one hurt a lot of people in the back, including myself, but it hurt nobody worse than poor Dante. And I just hope he's going to be okay. Thank you.
And another question that I cannot help but highlight is someone asked, amidst the rumors of AEW signing Goldberg, will Goldberg possibly appear in ROH? To which Tony Khan very definitively said,
No, Goldberg in Ring of Honor is never going to happen.
All right. And on that wonderful note, thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below if you'd like to see ROH Go International and what you'd like to see in its nearest future. And give this video a like if you had a good time. subscribe, tap the notification bell to never miss an upload, and until next time, goodbye.